Hello, this is Robert at the Open Eye, and today we're going to be talking about another candle conditioning oil. This one's called Abundance. But I think I'm not going to talk about what many of you may be anticipating when it comes to an oil named Abundance. If when I do a spell, I use a dictionary and a thesaurus to make sure I understand what I'm asking for. And doing so can change the whole nature of the spell and the result. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. So if you were to go to dictionary.com and look up the term abundance, what you'd read is this: abundance, an extremely plentiful or oversufficient supply or quantity. Overflowing fullness, affluence, and wealth. So it's no surprise when people see abundance oil on the shelf and immediately think money and stuff. After all, we all live in a very materialistic society. But something funny happens when most Americans do money magic. And this is explained by my friend Jason Miller, who runs a wonderful group called Strategic Sorcery and publishes a lot of wonderful books. And he explains that the poorest of Americans may feel poor when we compare ourselves to Bill Gates or some other wealthy relative that we might have. But when we compare ourselves to the poorest of the poor, the people from South America or Central America or Asia or Africa, the poorest of us are quite rich. So when we do magic in order to ask for money, wealth, or abundance, the spirits kind of look at us and go, well, okay, I guess I'll give you what you already have, and then walk away. Meanwhile, we're sitting there saying, well, money magic doesn't work. I didn't get what I wanted. Right? Well, money magic does work when you need money. Okay? But most of us really don't. And I know that might be hard to hear for some people who are working minimum wage jobs and trying to support a kid and on food stamps and all this other stuff. Those folks can use more money. If you're not in that situation, maybe you do, maybe you don't. It depends. Okay, but that's not really what we're here to talk about. Let's look up abundance using a thesaurus. And when you do that, you find words like enough, adequate, and sufficient. So let's say that you want to do an abundance spell. You're a hard worker and you just don't have time to do a project at work. So you do an abundance spell and ask, give me an abundance of time to get this project done. Well, you kind of already have an abundance of time. So again, you have 24 hours in a day, you watch TV, you're watching this video, you've got all kinds of time. So the universe is kind of go, okay. But if you ask with a little bit more humility and you say, please provide me with a sufficient amount of time to get this project done, the result of the spell might be your realization that you have plenty of time. You're just not using it wisely. As the spell continues, it might inspire you to juggle the way that you're spending some time. And you find that you do have sufficient amount of time to get the project done without any undue pressure on yourself, and the project gets done. The spell did not bring you an abundance of time. It changed your relationship with time. And magic is always about changing your relationship between one thing and another thing. So let's give another example. Let's say that you need money to go visit Aunt Sue who lives across the country. And you say, please give me a sufficient amount of money to go visit Aunt Sue. And what might happen there is you realize that you do have a sufficient amount of money, but again, you're spending it unwisely. But you're really not educated on money, you're not quite sure the better way of handling things. And so as the spell continues, a book lands in your lap. Some friend gives it to you. You find it for 50 cents in a used book bin. Who knows what happens? But you find yourself in possession of this book. And even though you've hated nonfiction books your whole life, suddenly you find this one fascinating. You read it from cover to cover, and you're able to apply its principles, and you manage your money better, and you're able to go see Aunt Sue. Again, the magic didn't bring you an abundance of money. It changed your relationship with money. And that's what magic is all about. Magic properly done is always an opportunity to learn and grow as a person. And it is my hope that every time that you visit the Open Eye, you find an abundance of opportunities to do so. So again, thank you for watching this video. I hope you keep an eye out for even more of them, and soon you're going to find an Open Eye YouTube channel that has all of these videos that you can see whenever you so choose. Thanks again.